Today on Southwest XJ, I am trying to test how much flex I have, not necessarily in the rear, but the front. And I want specifically to know, does that anti-rock impact how much flex I have? Usable flex. So right now I found a spot where the rear is fully flexed out, and the front is as well, I think. Yeah, are we touching? It's hard to tell in here, but let's take a look. Get closer here. Yeah, so that bump stop is fully compressed on this side, and that one, I don't know if it can drop anymore, but what we're gonna do, go around the other side here. You can see that stuffed up there pretty good. Is it touching? Yeah, it just barely touches that. See the rear here. So I don't know if it's the shock that's holding it. But this one, I don't know if you can see it or not. It's fully compressed. It's compressed on the bump stop there as well. So just twist it up. What I want to do now is I'll mark where the tire placement is and try to get in the exact same position. I'm going to disconnect the sway bar, and we'll see how that affects the front flex. If it flexes anymore, I don't know if it will. We had 13.5, we're at 14. So I got a 1/2 inch more flex out of it. Still, it's stuck. It's fully stuffed in the rear. This side did drop down a little bit more. I would say the only way to really do this test effectively would be with a forklift, which I do not have access to. But honestly, 1/2 inch is really not that much of a difference to me. What I like about the anti-rock is how much stability it gives you when you're in an off-camber situation. I don't have the body roll, like fully disconnected. That body roll will give you quite a bit of pucker factor sometimes when you're on a really off-camber hill. The sway bar really kind of helps, keeps it stable. Plus, it's a lot easier wheeling. You just have to air down your tires. You don't have to get out and disconnect the sway bar. And I have found that with the anti-rock, the rear it feels different. You can feel it flexing more than with it fully disconnected, which was weird. I didn't expect that. And you know, high speed or even just hitting bumps and things like that, it just felt like it soaked it up much better with the anti-rock on there. So, not a fully scientific test. If I had I think I'd be better results with a forklift, because I could probably get it flexed out even more. But okay, two-wheel drive right now. Let's see if I give it a little. Yeah, it's just two-wheel drive. If I do the old rear trick with the e-brake, nope, not working. So now let's see if I get it four-wheel drive. We're kind of bound up here a little bit, so take a neutral and see if that does it. Okay, now we're in 4-low. Okay, that's not working. Now we're gonna put rear locker. Rear locker just engaged. Come on. Flexing on that. I'm putting my Antirock back on. The other thing I like having, I know some guys do not run Swaybars, and they're fine with it. I mean, driving down the highway and things, I like having a little more stability. I find when it's on the easiest setting, or the one that's farther out on that. Why don't you come on this side? Shoot, over my shoulder. Get right over my shoulder here. On this, if it's on this setting here, when I have a pretty good crosswind going, when I'm driving on the highway at 65, 75, I'm having to steer this thing a little bit more than I expect. But right now I have it on the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, fourth one. There's one more that makes it stiffer. So far I'm pretty happy with this. I ran it on the third one for quite a while, and it was fine. But I have noticed on the highway it's a little bit better for the crosswinds. And then yeah, having not having to reconnect your Swaybar after a day of wheeling is a nice thing, because sometimes it's muddy and you're just tired, you want to go home. Airing up the tires. What are some of the benefits of it? I would say the first thing is improved stability. The reason why I opted for this was I was in Sand Hollow, and in a really off camber, the front end went into this hole, and the whole vehicle just shifted over. Yeah, my sphincter was tight enough to probably crush diamonds. It was the whole family in there. I'm like, went home, ordered it right away, and immediately knew a difference. So the stability off camber is awesome. You actually get better traction. It helps keep your rear tires in better contact, because it's pushing some of the force to the rear. And I before I even read about the Antirock, I could tell right away that the front is flexing differently than it ever used to. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And after going in and looking on their website and read about it, I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I experienced. It was made it much easier. It is adjustable, so you can adjust it for your style of driving. You can have it a little bit more flexy. That's just going to make it a little bit more rolly on off-road, off-camber stuff. Or you can have it a little tighter. I like it a little bit, a little stiffer on mine, because it's better for highway driving. I do a lot of highway driving with this vehicle, and it cuts down on the amount of crosswind having to steer it as much as I do. So if you are thinking about this for your Jeep XJ, I would highly recommend it. If you have a TJ, that you can put one in the front and the rear, and then you have the ultimate of everything. On an XJ, you do not need a rear sway bar on it, because you have leafs, and the leafs act as a sway bar, and so that helps. So hopefully that helps you make a decision on, setting up your suspension to, I think, work better together, between the front and the rear, and makes your Jeep more capable.